Hi, I'm Jeff Hoyt, Editor-in-Chief of SeniorLiving.Org. We recently published a video where Attorney Eric Olsen described what you can do to avoid paying taxes to the IRS that you can't afford. You can see it here. Now in this video, you'll hear from a woman facing a whopping tax bill that was able to avoid paying it with a 5-minute phone call thanks to Eric's help. Now to be clear, if you can afford to pay your taxes, then you really should. But if paying them is going to stop you from paying your rent or getting the medical help you need, then you're protected and you shouldn't have to pay. The law is set up that way, but you don't know could hurt you. Now, Attorney Eric Olsen often advises seniors trying to choose between paying their taxes and paying their rent or other necessities. Eric is the executive director and founder of the Helps nonprofit law firm, a charitable firm that helps seniors nationwide with financial problems. In the second part of this important interview, the former bankruptcy attorney will introduce us to a client who followed his advice. He also explains why low-income seniors shouldn't worry about the IRS taking your home or property, how you could get back money the IRS has already taken, why the law protects everyone, not just seniors, how to avoid paying state taxes as well as federal taxes, and we'll explain how the Helps law firm could help you with your unpaid taxes. Check it out. So it's hard to believe you can get someone on non-collectible status through just a phone call to the IRS. You've been able to do this with a lot of your clients?
We've helped thousands of clients get on non-collectible or currently not collectible status. Yes. It's that easy. Would you like to meet with someone? I've got Siobhan from Florida that'd be happy to talk to you about how easy this was.
Wow, that'd be great. Hi, Siobhan. Welcome.
Hi, Jeff. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's great for you to come here and share your
Jeff.
story. So how did Helps help you with your tax issues?
Well, Helps actually put me into a program, a non-collection status. What they did is they placed a call and they notified the IRS that they were representing me. It took like 5 minutes to answer all the expense questions. And then that was it. We were done. It took approximately like 5 minutes to sign up. They asked a couple of questions and it was actually longer. It was a longer waiting period, just waiting for the rep to pick up the phone. But the process only took about 5 minutes.
How long were you on the phone for, Siobhan?
I was on the phone for about maybe 50 minutes.
That's short.
Yes, I'm sure it could be longer. I've called them several times.
So to be clear, you called up the IRS and you had someone from Helps on the phone with you to help you out a little bit. And how much did you owe the IRS at that point?
$70,000.
Wow. And that entire debt
$70,000.
And that entire debt went away.
Disability benefits. And so I could not afford to pay it. And I was really, really stressed out. And I just happened to Google tax information and Helps program. It pulled up and I called the office and they gave me all this information, good information.
And you should know that Jeff, Siobhan's income at this time, it was like $1,200 in Social Security disability. Is that right, Siobhan?
Yes, that's correct.
Minimal. You had no hope of ever paying this.
And forgive me for saying this, Siobhan, but you don't look like a senior. Like you look like you might be in your 50s. How old were you when you did this, made this call to the IRS?
I believe I was 51.
Wow. And so one 5-minute phone call with a long hold time and then $70,000 of tax debt was wiped out?
Yes, that's correct.
And how'd that make you feel?
A happy camper.
I bet. So
yes.
Do you think Helps can help other people like you who are in this situation?
Sure, and I have no doubts about it. Anytime I run into someone that has a challenging problem, I always give them Helps phone number to see if they can help them out because they've helped me out with so many things.
Well, that's great. Really appreciate you taking the time to share your story, Siobhan.
Thanks, Siobhan.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
So Eric, when seniors are trying to fill out this budget to present it to the IRS agent over the phone, do they need to go back and look at their checkbooks and figure out how much they spent the last couple of months?
No, not necessarily. I mean, they can use that as a guide if they want, but you got to understand, a lot of seniors live off of less money than they should be. And so the IRS budget standards are what's allowed for you. So, I mean, if you're a senior and you're only spending $100 on food, no, you're allowed to spend a lot more on that. Or if you're living off of, if you're not buying any personal items, no, you're allowed to buy personal items. If you don't ever buy any clothes, no, you're allowed to buy clothes. So no, you don't base your budget on what you've actually spent in the past, but what it should be. And you can use those IRS standards for different items as a guide. So no, you don't base it on your past budget, but what your budget actually should be based on your needs and what it should be.
So what if you own a home or you're buying a home? Can you still get uncollectible, currently non-collectible status?
Yeah, you certainly can. You know, the guidelines will have housing expenses and, you know, hopefully your house payment or your rent or whatever will be within those guidelines. But they're flexible. Yeah, you can be buying a home and have equity in a home and still qualify for currently not collectible status. IRS does not take people's homes. I guess one thing, if you have a large equity in the home, if the IRS were to ask you, and I don't think the agent would do this, but if they were asked, well, can you make a loan to borrow on the money to pay the debt? And if you can't, you can say, no, I can't do that. I have poor credit. I would be unable to make that payment. So no, yeah, you can have a home. Now, you should understand that if you get on currently not collectible status, IRS normally will file what's called a tax lien, okay? And some people, oh, they're scared about that. You don't need to be scared. All that is it's a lien that's filed, that's recorded. It actually doesn't appear on your credit report anymore. It hasn't for the last 3 years. And that lien is good as long as the taxes are in a state where they're going to, you have to, taxes are, they have 10 years to collect the taxes. So after you file the return, the taxes are assessed. After 10 years, you no longer have to pay the taxes. So if they filed a lien and you filed the taxes 4 years ago, then in 6 years, that tax lien will drop off and it will no longer be. The only reason the tax lien would be a problem is if you went to sell the property before the tax lien expires or refinance it, it would be a problem. It would show up as a lien. But
right, but it wouldn't prevent someone from selling the house. It would just be that some of the proceeds would go towards the unpaid taxes, which seems fair.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you know, so if the taxes are going to expire in 2 years and you want to sell a home, you might decide, well, gee, I'm going to wait for 2 years before I sell the home, and that lien drops off.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there are viewers today who are having their income garnished by the IRS, or they may get their Social Security offset. What can those people do?
Exactly what we've been talking about. Exactly. You can contact the IRS if you, within these criteria, these standards and criteria, you can qualify for currently not collectible status, and they'll stop doing the offset of the Social Security. And something else too, if your bank account was garnished, this happens occasionally, not often, but if they took money out of your bank account, a lot of money, for example, and it was from your Social Security, normally it doesn't happen. It's pretty rare. I mean, you can get right on the phone with the IRS and call them on the phone, and you can get on currently not collectible status, and it's likely the IRS is going to send that money back to you or not take it. They'll reverse the garnishment from your bank account. They do that.
So not only will the money stop being taken from your account, but they'll actually give you some back that they have already taken.
Within a recent time period. They're not going to give you money you paid them a year ago or 2 years ago or 6 months ago. No. So if it just happened.
So we've been talking a lot about the IRS and federal income taxes. What about state income taxes?
Good question. States cannot garnish IRS, cannot garnish Social Security, pensions, disability, VA benefits. State tax collectors are just like general other debt collectors, other creditors. They cannot take a person's Social Security. So if you owe state income taxes and your only income is Social Security, maybe a pension, you can't afford to pay them, they can't garnish your Social Security. And the same rules apply to your bank account, that twice the amount of your federal benefits, including Social Security deposit in a bank account, that sum of money is protected from garnishment, even from a state tax collector. Now, they can file a tax lien, okay? And state taxes have different rules on how long they can collect for. Sometimes they don't go away, so you always owe the taxes. But they can file a state tax lien, but no, they can't take your Social Security or other retirement income.
And obviously, seniors have access to retirement income and Social Security. But what we're talking about, non-collectible status, is not just for seniors. Like Siobhan was not old enough to be a senior when she
Applies to anyone. Now, the nice thing about seniors is that when you get on currently not collectible status, it's typical for them to put you on that just indefinitely. Because if you're only getting, and in her case, she was disabled, and so they put her on indefinite. But so they'll put seniors on currently not collectible status normally indefinitely. You won't have to reapply or anything like that.
And you've had clients who make close to the poverty line in income, and they're supposedly paying hundreds of dollars out of their monthly paycheck to the IRS. That have
or their money's being set off and they don't realize they could get on currently not collectible status. Oh yeah, all the time. I'm sure there are probably hundreds of thousands, if not more, persons in the United States who would qualify for currently not collectible status, but they haven't received it because they haven't applied for it. They don't know they can do it. Now, once again, there's nothing wrong with paying your taxes. I mean, I think that's an honorable thing to do. And if you can, you should. But if you're not able to do that and you're cutting back, then there is a means to be put on currently not collectible status so you don't have to pay the taxes.
And so these people are being asked to choose between paying for food, shelter, medical bills, necessities, and paying their taxes. And helps can help them make the right choice and save their tax money so they can live their lives. So,
yeah.
So how do people get a hold of help so they can be helped?
Our primary function is we protect seniors from debt collector harassment. That's what we do. We represent them as their attorney under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, so collectors have to leave them alone. And then we educate them how they can maintain their financial independence. So that's where this comes in. If clients contact us and we can help them so they don't have to pay their old credit card debt, stop being harassed by the debt collectors so they don't have to worry. But in that process, if we find out they owe IRS taxes, we can help them get on currently not collectible status. And they get a hold of us. Our website is www.helpsishere.org, HELP with an S on the end, is here.org. Or they can call us toll free at 855-HELPS-US or helps us. Toll free. We're a 501c charity. We don't turn anyone away that needs the help we provide.
Great. Well, really appreciate you sharing these things and helping teach seniors and others that if they have a big tax bill, there's ways to get out of it if they can't afford to pay. And I want to thank Siobhan as well for sharing her story with us, how helps helped her.
Thanks, Jeff.